Fabrizio Romano on Savinho and Spurs. Juventus are considering a move for Palhinha. Sky Sports have reported Tottenham defender Radu Drăgușin has completed his medical at Florence, and Gareth Bale has stated he once turned down Manchester United for Tottenham. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel and to another edition of the Daily Tottenham News Headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. My name is Leader Dorset Spur, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Okay, so here's the main stories today. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano on Savinho and Spurs. Tottenham remain very interested in Savinho. Tottenham keep working on the Savinho deal. They're waiting for Manchester City to take a decision on Savinho, whether they want to let him go or not and under which conditions. But the conversations have started, the conversation is ongoing. Savinho is the next big name on their list. I would like to include also Cody Gakpo among the players they like at the winger position after reshaping the midfield with Sandro Tonali and Matheus Fernandes. Tutto Juve in Italy have reported Juventus are considering a move for Palhinha after his loan spell at Tottenham from Bayern Munich ended this summer. The Portuguese midfielder is now expected to assess his options as he looks to secure regular first-team football ahead of the new season. Sky Sports have reported that Tottenham defender Radu Drăgușin has completed his medical in Florence on Tuesday to complete his initial loan move to Fiorentina. Drăgușin transfer will become a permanent deal for a £21.4 million if he plays a certain amount of games. Spurs retain a sell-on clause which gives them 10% of the profit of any future resale. And Gareth Bale stated he once turned down Manchester United for Tottenham. He said, "I rejected Manchester United and went to Tottenham. At the time, United were the biggest team in the Premier League, winning trophies with the best players and the best coach. The easy decision would have been to go to United, the biggest club in England, when I played for Southampton. You always want to be at the biggest clubs, but I made the decision to play football. At that age, many players would look for money and want to go to a bigger club. It was important for my development to keep my playing football. That's why I chose Tottenham." Bale was speaking on Stick to Football podcast, and he went on to say about when he left Tottenham for Real Madrid. "United and Madrid were the two teams who were interested. I did talk to United, yeah. They actually bid more than Madrid. I spoke with Dave Moyes, not Ed Woodward. Maybe my agent did. My heart was set on Madrid. I had something in place with Daniel Levy, maybe more of a gentleman's agreement because he didn't want to sell me to a rival. So if a team did come in from Spain, Italy or wherever, I could go potentially, because if we didn't qualify for the Champions League, which we didn't, I was then able to go there." So, my views on some of these stories. Well, Savinho deal. This one's been going on for such a long time. It's hard to know whether that is ever going to happen. To be honest with you, there are other players that I've heard us kind of being linked with as well. So, it'll be interesting to see whether this one actually gets across the line. Cody Gakpo as well is another one I've seen a lot of talk about, with the player wanting to leave Liverpool. But again, it's going to be big money, and that may upset a few rival fans and a few pundits if we go out and spend even more money this window. But yeah, it's one of those decent player. He's not getting all the regular football at Manchester City, so maybe he does want to come and just play football and see where that takes us. We need strengthening in that position. We know that. So I think we'll definitely go in for someone in that position, but whether it's him or not, who can tell? Who can tell? Palhinha, obviously, having left Tottenham, he did give us that nice message to say that he was He had a really good time at Spurs and so on. But obviously, with the spending that we've got in midfield, it doesn't look like there's going to be a position for him. And he obviously wants to play football as well. So there was a lot more talk of him going back to Portugal. So interesting that Juventus may be interested. So we'll see where that one goes. But obviously not a Tottenham player any longer, and so not really our business. But he did do a lot for us when he was at Spurs, and I'm sure he'll go on and do good things over there if that's where he actually ends up. Radu Drăgușin completing his medical in Florence. Yeah, I've seen this one. They're yet to announce it at Spurs, I think. I think it's been announced by Fiorentina, but not really been announced by Spurs at this moment. But another £21.4 million back in the bank to offset some of the spending that we've done, which will be really good. Brings that overall down and allows us to spend a little bit more. We know we haven't done an awful lot in sales at this moment in time. I think Alfie Devine has also gone. So there will be sales for sure, but I don't think we need to sell too many players, because if we sell too many players, that just reduces the squad depth, and it's the squad depth that we really need. We've had decent first team players, but as soon as they're out, you've got no one to replace them with. So for me, I don't see an issue with us keeping players and them all fighting for their places and trying to get in and taking their opportunity. And if a player gets injured, you've got quality to bring in. That's what we really need. So, but obviously Drăgușin, not really one that's gonna do that. Dropping down the pecking order, behind a lot of players. So, and his agent is dead keen for him to go somewhere else. So it's now somebody else's problem to worry about. And finally, Gareth Bale talking about leaving for Southampton for Tottenham rather than Manchester United. See, for me, this makes sense, and why a lot of pundits fail to kind of recognise is that players can see potential in other places, and they want to. They might want the money, but the money that they're getting offered, it's so high anyway that it's almost irrelevant to a certain extent. So I'm just glad that he came to Spurs. It would be the easy option for him to have gone to Manchester United, as he said, biggest club in the country at the time, winning everything all the time and all the rest of it. But Daniel Levy didn't want him to go to a rival, would rather him go abroad, and that's why he ended up going to Madrid. And look how that turned out for him. Fantastic move for him. Big money for Spurs, which we wasted, to be fair. So, yeah, all worked out for him in the end. But he is still very much a Tottenham man. And it's history now, isn't it? It's done. It's dusted. It's just a shame we couldn't have built a team around him that could really go on and challenge. But yeah, interesting story. But it's in the past now. Let's look forward to the future. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on audio platform, again, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. As I said, I'm leader Dorset Spur. If you'd like to pop over and say hi on my channel, I'd be more than happy to have you over there. I'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the Spurs.